right, shout out to the nation. It's your girl Deanna Diaz, business coach and entrepreneur. And today I am blessed to be in the presence of Mr. Leonard. Mr. Leonard, how you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing outstanding. Thank you. So I'm definitely happy to have you here. It's a great honor to have you here. And I checked out a little bit of your background. However, I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell the people a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me.
Yes.
Um, so, I've been in the film business for about 15 years. We've branched off and started doing advertisement. One thing led to another. We started doing television commercials, which led to TV, which led to radio ads. And from there, we wound up somehow doing radio on billboards. And now we do magazines. My partner, who I'm partnering with now, earlier this year, his name is Courtney B. You might know him because he's responsible for producing Hail Mary. He's got a couple of Grammys. Um, he's got his own magazine, which got us into magazines. So we've just been expanding.
Wow. Period. All right. So
That's
how
it.
did you get started?
How did I get started?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was one of them guys. I'm gonna be a rapper when I get older, and I had some opportunities. I did a few shows. I was
Okay.
actually pretty successful. People really loved my music, and I was actually I had this big mindset. I didn't want to sign with no label. Had a couple of nice offers, but I said I had my own label, and we we went out. We put together, did some promotion, did some basketball in Queens, New York, to build up our. Oh, okay, yeah, we built up a whole, we built up a little nest egg so that we can afford equipment. Went out to celebrate and start shooting videos and stuff like that. Just putting everything together, and I was presented with the opportunity to do movies instead of music, which confounded me. I've been, in my 30s. I've been doing music for over 15 years. It was a
Yeah.
lifelong dream, but
Yeah.
on the screen, it was like, hold up, wait a minute, let me think this over. And so one thing led to another, and I jumped in and started. We jumped in 2012. We won the Star International Film Festival, which is a kids festival now. But when I won, it was the largest action film festival in the world.
Yeah.
So we came out with a huge W, and
Wow.
so from there, I decided, this is something I really want to pursue. This is crazy. So I went to go ahead and went and got my degree in film, and along the way we started, advertising. I wanted to get some experience behind the camera, so we started doing one from YouTube to, and I was doing music, so I was connected to a lot of people, and wound up just getting opportunities to do television commercials, which was like learning a whole new thing because doing YouTube and doing television,
Two
you know,
different things.
it's a little different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But we got it locked down. It didn't take but a couple of years to really have it down solid. And so from being able to post on any television station in the country at any time slot, it just opened up so many doors. And
Mm-hmm.
now we're looking to do feature films. Right now, my goal is feature. I'm talking to some people. I want to keep it a little hush at the present
Oh,
moment.
okay. All
It's,
right. All right.
so
Mhm.
that's got a big deal on the table. We working. I got one in Hollywood, one independent. I'm trying to do.
Well, when you do start, filming and stuff, I just want to come to the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? I just want to come and stroll the red carpet.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love the support. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So now, where are you from?
I'm from New York City, Queens, New York.
Oh,
Born
so
and
that's
raised.
it. So do you feel like being in New York that heavily influenced you wanting to be in music?
Man, I'm older than I look. Right? When I grew up, when you walk down the street, two rappers see each other, it's on sight. Like everybody starts beatboxing, ciphers form all around you, crowds of people form around you, and you're going back and forth giving your best lyrics, and you might win, lose, or draw, but you ain't gonna get down the block without having to do the same thing two or three more times.
Oh
And
my goodness.
it was crazy. And like I'm going to the store. I'll be with my mother in the grocery store. See another rapper. It's on site. I'm 15 years
Yeah,
old.
man, that's intense. Like you gotta be ready when you come outside the door. It ain't no just no regular stroll for you, huh?
And that's how it was for anybody. If you was a rapper and I'm not gonna give my age away, but if you're a little bit over 40, and everybody in New York can tell you that's how it was. It was beautiful. It was a
Wow,
beautiful thing.
dang. So has that happened? Does that happen now these days, or
Nah.
no? Oh,
These
you
kids
know.
wouldn't know what to do with a cipher. Sometimes I teach at the local high school and I look at these kids and I'm like, some of them want to be rappers. They don't know nothing about the culture like that. It's
Wow.
not. Now everybody's got their songs on their phones. I'm coming from an age before cell phones. We had to have our rhymes memorized.
Uh-huh.
We dropped like you better be able to spit something. I could rhyme to a fire hydrant, to a ice cream truck playing, to like you name beats on the table. Like
Okay. Okay. Wait, but do you still got it though? Do you still got it? Can you still freestyle?
yeah, but I don't do it anymore. Like if
Mm.
I did, my partner would have me in the studio.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
still work for Atlantic Records.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe that might be a side hustle for you. Maybe. Maybe.
This movie thing is everybody that's in the music business wants to come to where I'm at.
I seen that. I started noticing that back. So my brother's favorite rapper back in the day was Ja Rule, and I noticed when like rappers started to make the switch going into doing movies and stuff like that, and I used to think like, oh, I guess that's what you're supposed to do. I ain't know no better, but I just noticed that that was the avenue for a lot of people. So yeah, so you initially you thought that music was your passion. You thought that was going to be the end all be all, and then you switched over to being, behind the camera and cinematography and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty sure that was like an eye-opening situation because you never thought that you would switch from music, right?
Well, so I've always been a storyteller. When I was a kid, I was a strange kid. I was really, really strange. I'm 6'3", 230 pounds, big black man, and instead of wanting to play football, I wanted to read a book.
Hmm.
Like my mother wanted to punish me when I was a kid. She would take the TV away from me. Watch the TV, but you can't finish your books tonight. I mean, literally. And it would be I was always as someone who loved stories, I was always a storyteller. And as far as being able to tell stories over a microphone, I could tell stories. I was pretty good,
Hmm.
but it was limited. The type of stories you could tell in hip hop, you can only go but so far. You got, so many bars you can drop, and a song. Unless you're doing an entire album about one story, the stories are completely limited. I was reading like Stephen King and John Saul and Dean Koontz, and I was reading all of these. It's the kind of stories I wanted to tell: were horror, sci-fi, action, and you could put a little of that in hip hop. But and that's what I was. I was known as a storyteller. So when I found the camera, it opened up a whole new world. I could tell these stories. I could really tell these stories now that in hip hop, it just didn't have the abundance of space for me to be able to tell the elaborate stories that I was able to produce. And now I found a medium where I can do that. So it would really be, I could stop in. I could stop in and drop a lyrical bar here and there. But as a storyteller, I found my medium, and it's definitely the camera.
Wow. Awesome. That's so awesome. You make me want to start telling stories. My stories might be a little boring, so I'm gonna let you handle that part. Uh, but yeah, so what do you think? So people say storytelling, or tell your story, whatever the case may be. What makes a good story?
Um, what makes a
In
story
your
good? What,
opinion.
there's actually a science to this. This is
Mhm.
when you're on the outside looking in, it appears that it's okay, you taking notes? No, watch this. I'm gonna make it real simple.
Okay.
A story is good to you if you have empathy for the character. If you care about the character, you're going to enjoy the story. I don't care how boring it is. I don't care how exciting it is. You want to see that character win because you care for the character. So what makes a story good is the ability of the person, of the author, of the writer, to be able to make you feel for that character.
Wow. So that's the reason why we still hate Charles in that Medea movie, right? Because of how bad he treated Helen. Well, for some reason, the black community has not forgiven Charles at all.
Because as a black woman, how did you feel about Helen? She was relatable.
Right. She
So
was.
you can put yourself in her shoes. So you can see that happening to you. You can't forgive somebody who can make you feel like, yo, that could have been my sister. She was
Woo.
relatable to you. You cared about the character. But
Yes.
you can take it as far as um let's say Marvel. And I'm just like,
I love
you
Marvel.
okay, let's say okay, so let's use Marvel, right? So people care about those characters because they grew up reading about them in their comic books. Everybody, you already have a deep feeling of a relationship with these characters. So the story doesn't even have to be that good as we've seen, and people will
Mhm.
still want to see more because there's a synergy between the audience and the character. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the story. I mean, the better
Right.
the story, the more into the actual story you become. But if you're related, if there's something between you and the character, there's a connection. If you feel for the character, you care about the outcome. If you care about the outcome, you're gonna like the story.
I felt that,
There
and I.
was one that just came out. It was based on a video game. What was it? It's not coming to mind. Zombies and
Oh,
fungus. You know what? It was a TV show.
it was a TV show. And what was
Was
it?
an old guy. He lost his daughter. He went and he was going his journey and he met this other little girl who was about his daughter's age, and he lost his daughter, so he wasn't the friendliest person in the world. But
Mhm.
eventually, his surrogate family she became his surrogate family, and he became protective over her like he would,
His own daughter.
his own daughter.
Mhm.
And I couldn't help but be. I'm a single father, so that story grabbed me.
I'm sure. Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Tears falling up in my eyes, not literally, but
Tears. Not the tears.
the only time I ever cried during a movie, the only time Samuel Jackson made me cry. If
What
you've
movie
never
was
seen
this?
if you have never seen A Time to Kill, you've never seen Samuel Jackson at his best.
Wow. Wow. And what's the name of that movie again? So I
A
can
Time
go.
to Kill was based on a
A
true
Time
story.
to Kill.
A
Okay.
Time to Kill.
I'm gonna have to go
I
revisit.
cried when I watched that one. It was a true story.
It was a tearjerker like that for real?
It's the only movie that ever made me cry.
Dang. Okay. I'm gonna find it too. Everybody watching, make sure y'all go check out A Time to Kill.
I'm just 20 years old, but it's a true story. And because it's a true story, talk about a relatable character.
Oh wow. So have you been in your industry, have you got a chance to work with any actors or actresses that you've been wanting to work with or had come across or meet or anything?
I've met quite a few. Have I gotten to work with any? A couple here
Okay.
and there. I got a big one on the table right now. Again, I'm not trying to jinx myself, but that
Okay.
should be
Okay.
within the next month. And
Hmm.
landing that would be like, that's oh wow, I'm landing A-list stars. I'm good.
Yes, it's the upgrade. It's the upgrade. That's awesome. So now you mentioned that you're a single father. Do you mind telling us how old your child is?
Well, I have two daughters.
Okay.
I have a unique story. So I raised my 22-year-old moved in with me when she was 7,
Okay.
and I raised her by myself. And by the time she was 16, 17, I met a young lady. We became involved. There was a child.
Mhm.
My 7-year-old hasn't seen us. My 6-year-old hasn't seen her mother since she was 6 months. So I have both of them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. And how has that been? Because I'm a single mother myself and it is a struggle, but luckily I have a pretty decent village that helps me with my daughter, especially doing the things that I do. And I'm also in the service too, and I just came back. So my village really held me down with that. So like what was your struggles with that, trying to do what you do and then still be dad of the year?
Well, my oldest daughter, I had a strong village as well. I had everybody was there. It was it wasn't so tough. I had everybody there. Since then, unfortunately, I am a lot of my family passed away. I'm actually an elder on one side of my family, and there's only like my mother had eight brothers and sisters, and they were all married, and I'm now an elder.
Okay.
So there's like nobody left. So kind
Mm-hmm.
of on my father's side, my parents were together. I didn't even have to grow up like that. My father's side,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everybody's gone. So
Mm.
it's a whole different struggle. It's different.
Yeah. Oh.
My
Well,
oldest one helps me with my youngest one. She's watching it right now, so I can do this interview. Get you behind it. Take us so that I can do this thing.
Oh my goodness. I know that so well. That's why I'm so glad I got my office. If not, my daughter, she used to come stick her head and I want to say hi. Like, no, mama. No. And I don't have her on camera and stuff like that. So I
We
really
on break right now. I wasn't. I guess I could have went in, but didn't make sense.
no, I feel it. I feel it. Okay. So now what kind of tips would you give somebody who's trying to get into this industry like you are?
It's a tough industry to break into.
I'm sure. Especially
I worked for free for years before I started landing paying gigs,
mm,
and you know, like right now, I'm not in front of the camera. I'm doing everything I'm doing, but I'm behind the camera. So it really depends. Like it's a tough industry to get into. Film school is not. It doesn't open the kind of doors that you would expect it to open.
it doesn't guarantee.
Well, it depends on the film school. If you go to NYU,
Oh well, that sounds like a little different.
I mean, if you go, if you can get into the best film schools, I wasn't that good of a student in high school. If I had known then what I knew now, I'd have knuckled down and done a little better. I actually barely made it out, went to the military. So by the time I went to college, I could get in where I could.
Right. What branch of the service were you in?
I was only in the Navy. I don't like being shot at. I figured that out when I was young. Queens was rough when I grew up. I'm from Southside Jamaica. I grew up with 50 Cent.
Oh, did you really? Wow. Okay.
He's not lying about the stories he tells.
He's not. Mm, wow. I remember when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. I was in high school. Uh, but yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. I didn't mean to do that to you.
What made me feel older?
Yeah, it was unintentional if I did. I'm sorry.
You good? You good?
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Well, we got a couple minutes left, and I want you to go ahead and put your information out where people can reach you, view your work, and all that good stuff.
All right. Shall I type it in or just?
No,
You can find
just
me.
say
Okay, cool. The easiest way to locate me is at enlightenedvisionent.com. ENLIGHT enlightened in the past tense, or like we received enlightenment vision VISION Edward Nancy Thomas at ENT.com. Enlightened Vision Entertainment is the name of my company. Enlightenedvisionent.com is how you can locate me. Our social media is all there. Everything's there. So the best way to get to me is through my company website.
all right. Y'all heard that. Make sure you take advantage of these resources that's being put out to you. Well, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the Boss Talk interview. And, everybody else, make sure that you check out Mr. Leonard over here. Make sure you see what he has to offer. See if he can help your business or what you're doing anyway. I'm sure he is open to working with you. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you check out deannaisalluneed.com. If you want to look for me, you can get my information from the description bar below or just Google Deanna Diaz and you will find me either way. Y'all take care and be blessed.